Hi everybody, I'm Skinny Ricky and these are the Casual Encounters, and we're going to play a song that we wrote called It's Getting Harder. It's getting harder. It's getting harder. Yeah, to get sober and get over it. Not any smarter or any wiser of a man, but it's not like I haven't tried to get by. Ooh.
I watch you struggle. I've seen you struggle with my own two eyes, and now it's hard to find words that matter. Who am I to tell you just what a grown-ass man's supposed to do? When I too am afflicted.
Baby, what am I supposed to do? Darling, yeah, what to do? Yeah, with our love so deep, we surely got to make it. Or else the stories lie, and all the songs will die. We've got to make it if we try. With our love so deep, we surely got to make it. Or else the stories lie, and all the songs will die. We've got to make it if we try. With our love so deep, we surely got to make it. Or else the stories lie, and all the songs will die. We've got to make it if we try. With our love so deep, we surely got to make it. Or else the stories lie, and all the songs will die. We've got to make it if we try. This song is called Just Because. Have I missed it? Is it gone? Have I waited just a little too long? Just because I haven't shown it doesn't mean that those eyes ain't on my mind. just because I haven't shown it yet doesn't mean that those lips ain't on my mind. If you want to share a warm embrace with me tonight, oh, I'd allow it. But if not, that's okay, okay by me.
Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before, no, no. I just want to tell you right now that I believe, I really do believe that something's gotta hold on me, yeah. Oh, something's gotta hold on me right now, child. Let me tell you now, I've got a feeling, I feel so strange. Everything about me seems to have changed. Step by step, I got a brand new form. I even sound sweeter when I talk. I say, oh, 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 hey, baby, oh, it must be love. Let me tell you now, something's gotta hold on me, yeah. Oh, something's gotta hold on me right now, child. Let me tell you now, I've never felt like this before. Something's gotta hold on me that won't let go. Believe I'd die if I only could. I feel so strange, but it sure is good. I say, oh, 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 hey, baby, oh, it must be love. Let me tell you now, my heart feels heavy, I feel light. I shake all over, I feel alright. I never felt like this before. Something's got a hold on me that won't let go. I never thought it would happen to me. Got me happy when I'm misery. I never thought it would be this way. Love sure gone and put a hurting on me. I said, oh, 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 whoa. Oh, hey, baby, oh, it must be love. Oh, you know he wants that love. He talks that love. Make you feel alright. In the middle of the night. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Oh, it must be love.
Rachel Laver's going to sing a solo, Toby Lark, and it's called Sweep It Out in the Shed.
One for the money, two for the show, three to get ready, and four to go. Sound
Rock and roll guy over here.
Welcome to the National Music Sanctuary. We have Skinny Ricky and the Casual Encounters here today, and they just played an amazing set of R&B, bringing it back to the days when suit and tie was necessitated for a night out on the town.
Absolutely.
So I think we'll just start by quickly getting you guys to introduce yourselves and tell us like what you do for the band, your instrument.
Okay. Greg, you want to start?
Yeah, my name is Greg. I play drums.
My name is Luigi. I play trumpet.
I'm Michael. I play the bass. I'm Eric, also Skinny Ricky, sing and play guitar.
I'm Robert. I play 20-minute guitar solos.
I'm Rachel, backup singer.
I'm Stephanie, also backup singer.
Also solo singers, though. Yeah.
That's true.
No.
And I'm Brian. I play sax.
Excellent. That was one of the best introductions we've done yet on the podcast. I'd like you all to compliment yourselves on that. I want to ask you, Eric, because I'm assuming you write a lot of these songs. I mean, talk a little bit just for the community out there. The history between the two of us is I met Eric at K-Pig, and K-Pig does a similar radio podcast or radio show called Please Stand By. And I remember the first time I heard Skinny Ricky play, who is Eric Parsons right there, it was because somebody didn't show up to Please Stand By.
Right.
And as a man who wears a hat who wrangles microphones for Please Stand By, is your alter ego, Eric Parsons, you jumped in on your guitar and you played a song you didn't play this evening, but it's one of your classic ballads. I remember going, man, that's a heartbreaker.
You're probably talking about the song Cold on Him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a song that I wrote with my friend Ben Carson, who's a music professor up at UCSC. That was how I got into this area. I went to UCSC and I was a music major there. And Ben actually at one point was one of my professors, but after school we became friends, and then we wrote that song together, and people like it. It's a heartbreaker. But we didn't.
Was it written because your heart was broken, or was it written because you were like, I'm gonna write a heartbreaker?
It was absolutely written because my heart was broken.
Right.
Yeah, and it was originally the.
What's her name?
Yeah, you're right.
Tell us. I want everybody to comment. Say how bad she was.
It's one of those songs, that just kind of, it's just kind of like everyone can relate to it, and that's a feature of songs that were written, I'd say, from the 40s on, before Bob Dylan, is songs that people can more universally relate to versus ones that are you're kind of wondering what it's really about, and that's.
Whoa, that's harsh on Dylan, man.
Yeah.
No, but it's true. Dylan took it to a much more subjective level
Absolutely,
than
yeah.
lyricism, and I think that's what "Cold on Me" does. Is that it
Cold on
brings
Him?
Cold
Yeah,
on
but
Me.
yeah, totally.
It does bring you back to those simple motifs. That
It's-
kind of everybody can. Yeah, we've all had our hearts smashed, and damn, it sounds good when somebody just crings it. But you did it that first time. This is why I think it's an excellent song. You did it that first time with just you and a guitar, and then you played it again another time that I've heard. Maybe it's a recorded version of it with the horns and the whole thing, right?
Yeah. Well, that's. I mean, it's one of those songs that can translate well as a solo singer guitar thing, but also we've arranged it with the band with horns, with really wonderful backup harmonies.
Yeah, it's a fantastic song.
Yeah, I mean that's a big part of this band is just figuring out what everyone's gonna do because there are 8 of us.
So tell us, how does that happen? That's kind of what that's what we wanted. Do you show up and you bring a guitar and you say these are the changes and this is how I see it?
I mean, it really depends on the song. But
Did all of you get together every week? Dude, how does that happen? Like, you Skype your practices, or
We all
you
get
all live
together
in the same city?
Yeah, we all live in Santa Cruz area.
Okay.
We all get together every week, but the writing process is usually there's a very sparse skeleton, and with this many people, the parts kind of come in fits and starts. So for some of the songs, you'll already have a melody in mind for the horn players to take,
Right.
or some sort of harmony in mind for the backup singers. And sometimes it happens a little more organically. We say, this is what it's like. You guys fill in what you think sounds good.
Getting 8 people together, it's like herding cats, right? That's harder than herding cats.
There's a lot of talent in this band. We can come up with that bass skeleton that he brings up and just and it just builds and blossoms into this own thing. And it's a lot of times we'll take one song, and the next week we'll come back, and it's completely different, but it's cool.
Right, sure.
And it works real well.
So, and I also think you guys play out a lot too. So I'm wondering, is it when you play a full set, are you playing only your original compositions, or are you doing a lot of covers and playing with the form? Because I know, just to out you a little bit more too, you have a great blog for the internet world, which everybody should know about. His blog, if you like R&B, because it just pulls these classic R&B songs that someone like myself who thinks I have knowledge of the music didn't know shit until I saw that blog. Honestly, I learned a lot. So you should plug your blog.
Right. So
your blog is called.
It's a component of the band in a way. The blog it's a Tumblr blog called Old Soul Music. So the web URL. If you just throw Old Soul Music into Google, you'll find it. But it's oldsoulmusic.tumblr.com, and it's me obsessively digging up really wonderful soul music that people are not familiar with, unless you're a total nerd about it.
And you're collecting vinyl too, no? Or?
Yeah. Well, actually, in this case, because it's a Tumblr blog, because it's internet based, it's mostly digital.
Okay.
Yeah. And the reason why we're called the Casual Encounters is because I started the band from Craigslist on this idea that I wanted to have a big classic soul group that played really wonderful soul music. That just what I really wanted to do. So it took me a while to find people. I think I found Michael first, and then
because you advertised in the adult Casual Encounters section for people that were interested in naked instrumentation.
That was just more a little bit.
It's Craigslist. Why did it take so long?
It was found in the music section, but then when we got to talk about how crazy it is that we found a large band of people from the internet. From Craigslist, that we thought it should be Craigslist themed, and it sounded like a catchy name, so we went with it.
It is a catchy name. Good.
Yeah, and we when we started out, I only had maybe one or two original songs, and we picked out various covers, basically from the blog, and learned them and started doing them. And for a long time, we did basically a handful of covers. Or rather, maybe a few originals and then a bunch of covers. But now we've kind of flipped it, and if we're going to play a standard set at any gig, we would rather prefer playing out all of our original music plus the covers that the girls sing solo on.
We can afford to be very selective on the covers now because we have a lot of good originals. So
totally,
very, very picky.
And do you feel like R&B's? It seems like R&B's kind of on a. People want to hear it more, and they want to see it live more.
People like to hear big horn sections.
Yeah, it seems like that's definitely.
People like big voices and they like big horns and they like big bands. Right. And.
But even like some of the new kind of pop South by Southwest bands, like ones like the Bahamas, like this style is coming back of stripping it down and kind of going back to those old R&B songs.
Well, that's most ideal, right? I mean, isn't that what people want? They want to see people do their art well in a way that's not overdone,
So what drew you to pick this format? Like why here?
That's a good question. Well, I am a product of the UCSC music program, and in that time I studied a lot of music, and it kind of got to my head. At the time I was by myself recording a lot of weird arty rock music that would take me way too long to complete, and I would be too intellectual about the process, and I had this kind of freak out where I wanted to de-intellectualize the process and sort of swing the pendulum back over to the other side of the whatever it is, to playing with people and enjoying and feeling music with those people, which is something that I wasn't doing when I was just recording these seeming masterpieces, like of weird nerdy art rock that no one was going to listen to, would never be played live, and no one would care about. And I wanted to start a band where you got good with a group of people and loved what you were doing and were feeling it more than you were thinking about it.
And Eric just has such an epic scream that, like, really, what other?
He really does.
Music around it. Yeah.
Sometimes
What
you
else
worry
can he
that
really
he's
do?
gonna pop his throat out.
One of these days.
Or blow up the K-Pig sty.
I call it the JB Baby T-Rex.
It's like, it's weird though, because when you see, the only time I've seen you do it is like 10:30 in the morning
Right.
or 11 a.m. and you're just
When I'm
like,
yawning.
you're still like, smell like the bar you left 4 hours ago and you're just there and I'm like, wow, here we are, we're back in Memphis.
Right.
We're doing it.
Well, it's taken a while to get there, no doubt. I mean, it takes some practice to get good at soul music. But
When we started doing this, you used to drive up the one in your car. Maybe this is how we can bring it back to place. You used to drive up the car in your one and practice your screaming.
yeah.
And what better place to do that than looking out over the ocean, right?
No, I mean,
That's a
I
good
do the
point,
same
yeah.
thing. Something about driving that coast road just brings out the rock star lead singer in me, and I'll scream for sure.
Totally.
That truck.
And
goes-
well, also, I mean,
it's bad. I'm
I mean,
sorry.
for me, I mean, there's that magic to it, which it seems, but really, it was just I felt so self-conscious about practicing screaming in my apartment where people could hear.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know?
that's true.
Like, and if you're gonna practice screaming, like, you don't want anyone else to hear it because maybe like they call the police because they think someone's dying.
Right. Or if someone does hear you, they're going by at 75 miles an hour, so it doesn't really matter.
Right,
They're not hearing
right.
you for long.
Yeah, like he's
Yeah.
killing someone in his car, so it's
Right.
cool.
Yeah, it's all
Right.
I didn't see it.
Well, these days there's a lot of traffic and everybody's screaming.
Nobody's looking at the road anymore.
Right. We do shows around town, and we've played a lot
Town
of
being
clubs.
Santa Cruz.
Yeah, and mostly in Santa Cruz. We've also played in San Jose. We've played K-Pig a bunch of times, and we're always down for a show. We don't always play with just soul bands or just R&B bands. We've played with many different types of bands, rock and roll to whatever. We are currently working on a full-length album that has been stop and go, but we plan on releasing this year, which we're excited about. Of all original music, some of
When
which
you say you
heard.
started, you've actually started recording, haven't you?
Yeah, we've got a big chunk of it done, and then we have a lot of ways to go. If
Cool.
that makes sense. Yeah.
So people can look for Skinny Ricky and the Casual Encounters vinyl by Christmas. Stocking stuffer.
That's
Stocking
the hope.
stuffer
Yeah.
for grandma.
Fingers crossed.
And if you
for
want to
that
check us
darling
out on the web, you
that
can
you want
find
to
us.
dance the boogie woogie to. Go ahead.
You can find us pretty easily. If you put our name into Google, Skinny Ricky even will come up. But we have a Tumblr blog, but Facebook is usually the best way to keep us,
Ooh,
in
we can
mind.
like you, and then we can share you.
Totally.
You should definitely.
Can we
like
tweet
us.
you?
Like us and share
Because
us
then,
and
because
tweet
what's
us.
gonna happen is
Will you
like
make sure you like my share of my tweet of my
Tumble us.
Instagram?
we don't have a Twitter because I kind of don't believe in Twitter, but that's just my
Man,
personal
you need to
thing.
get
But,
tweeted. Honestly, get with the tweet.
thecasualencounters.tumblr.com and then facebook.com/thecasualencounters. You can find us all there, and we're working on this album. We don't have any merch, but we're getting there. And when we put out this record, it's gonna be great. I'm really.
It is
looking
going to be
forward
great. So everybody should go see Skinny Ricky and the Casual Encounters and buy their stuff and like us and share us and tweet us and Instagram us here at the National Music
Yeah.
Sanctuary and tell your friends and we'll just keep making music. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you guys.
National Music Sanctuary. Woo!
Yeah.
Keeping the music
a wrap.
alive.
It's a wrap.